No, no. Because, I mean, no shade, no tea, but if you haven't accomplished anything in the past 9 months, why do you think you can accomplish more than 3 things in the next 3.5 months? I'm pretty sure it's not the time that was the problem. It was you. Hey y'all, it's Megan May and this is Transparency, where we keep it real about our growing pains and all the beautiful moving parts of life that may not be the most glamorous but shape us into who we are today. So if you're ready for some introspection and evolution, go ahead and lock in by hitting the subscribe button. And if anything I said resonates with you, you can leave me a comment and or like so I know we see each other. So y'all, my best friend, she was saying that I need to start incorporating things that I got on because I be so cute, you know. Like, you know, shouting out where I be getting my hair done, nails done, whatever products I might have on. Even though most of the times I come on here, I don't got on no products because I be dragging myself by my feet to get to this chair. But today, I'm going to shout out Doll by Day. On my braids, I'll tag it in the description. That's her Instagram handle. My sister Amber does my nails. They are due to be redone, but if you just go back and look at every single last episode, then you gonna see. And obviously, if y'all are listening to some audio version of the podcast, then you can't see, but I'll go ahead and tag Amber as well. Her Instagram is a.onmyset. And my product of the week is going to be this Fenty Beauty lipstick. What is this? Lip gloss? I don't know. This I know the girls, they be doing that. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I saw this on TikTok, I believe, last year around this time of year, like around the fall time, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this color is so pretty. And I went into Ulta because I needed a different shade from what I ordered online for a, what is it called, tinted moisturizer by Laura Mercier. And I saw just one of these left in the color that I thought was the most gorgeous color, and I picked it up. And y'all, just check me out. This lip gloss is so cute. And like, I normally just go in with like a lip liner and then some type of nude or some type of like light pink and then clear gloss on top. I think that's really just a go-to for me because my lips are so big, and sometimes when it comes to color, I feel like it just be too much. It just be giving like somebody just threw something on my lips and I just walking around like, you know, people with botched lip jobs, like it just be looking like that sometimes. But that's because I don't be knowing all the hacks just yet. I'm really new to makeup. I really just started doing my makeup like the end of last year probably. I don't know. Don't get me the line. I can't quote that. So yeah, but I really like that lip gloss, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear black for this episode, so let me just put on some color on my lips. And I feel like it's tea. It got some sparkles in it. Tea. Okay, so anyways, let's get into today's episode. And this is gonna be actually a really quick episode because I don't have much to say on the topic, but I wanted to join in. I wanted to chime in and add my 2 cents because I've been seeing a lot of people on YouTube specifically talk about the great lock-in, the great lock-in, the great lock-in, the great lock-in. Okay, and I personally, when I first seen it, I was thinking that they was talking about just like locking in for the last few months of the year, and essentially that is what they was talking about. Well, I've only listened to 2 people's video, and that's essentially what they was talking about, but I wanted to give my take on the topic because I personally feel like every time it's a new start to something, people say they're gonna lock in. So when it's a new start of the year, obviously in January, people make vision boards, they set resolutions, they say, oh, I'm locking in, this is what I'm gonna accomplish. And for some people, they implement the 12-month year or 12-week year, and the first probably 2-3 weeks of that, they're like, oh, I'm locked in, and then it just fizzles out. Spring comes, same thing. Oh, it's a new season, I'm locked in. Summer comes. A lot of people don't even claim to be locked in summer because they know they be outside. But now that fall is upon us, I feel like everyone is saying like, oh, they feel this shift and they just want to be locked in and da 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 da. And I agree. I personally feel a whole different type of shift, which you'll hear about in a whole nother episode. But I personally feel like, I won't even say September itself brought a shift for me, because September didn't really feel like nothing special to me at the beginning of the month. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people were saying opposite of that and saying like, oh, September brought all this new energy. I didn't feel that. That missed me. I started feeling new energy a little bit sometime within August, but I feel like for this great lock-in, if you are going to participate, then your focus should be on, drum roll, thinking about things as a fresh start. Not, oh my gosh, it's September, I have 3.5 months to get my life together, but a fresh start. Or even better, a head start to next year. Because if you look at it that way, then you're not putting too much pressure on going back to the goals you set in January and thinking that you have to accomplish all these things in the next 3.5 months. Because it's not practical. I'm not one to burst anybody's bubble for real, but it's also not realistic. Now, depending on what you have set in January, and depending on if you actually have made some form of progress and you're just trying to wrap things up within these next 3.5 months, that's a completely different case. But if you've done nothing, or if you've done just the bare minimum, and now you see, oh, it's the mid of September and I need to get my together, baby, I would recommend starting with one goal. Maybe it's your highest priority goal in terms of this is exactly what is going to make you feel like, okay, I got something big accomplished this year. It's going to be the most rewarding, the most fulfilling. Or maybe not your most high priority goal, but perhaps the goal that's easiest to accomplish, so that again at the end of the year you don't feel like you wasted the whole year. Like, it's just a little mental hack, because even if it is something super small that you probably can accomplish within the next 3 weeks, like, okay, cool, maybe you accomplish that, and then part of a bigger goal that's going to take longer than 3.5 months to accomplish, but I promise it's going to feel better having done it that way versus, oh, I mean, it's September, I might as well just wait till January again, or oh, I'm gonna start doing this big, like, just rehaul of my life, and I'm going to really lock in and focus on these 10 goals that I've set. No. Because, I mean, no shade, no tea, but if you haven't accomplished anything in the past 9 months, why do you think you can accomplish more than 3 things in the next 3.5 months? I'm pretty sure it's not the time that was the problem. It was you. And I'm not judging you, because there's things that I have not accomplished this year either. But I'm real about it. It's me. I'm the problem. And I've done what I needed to do to really bring myself into reality check. So I'm asking you to do the same. For this great lock-in of 2025, I'm asking you to be real with yourself about who you are in this current moment, and what is it that you think you can still accomplish with the time that you have remaining. Now, again, start with one, but like I said, big picture. We're not thinking about, oh, let me hurry up and get all these things done. We're thinking about, how can I put myself ahead for next year? So let's say your goal was something financial. For me, it's paying off credit card debt. All right, cool. Am I going to pay off the credit card by the end of this year? No. I'm not even gonna lie to myself. It's not gonna happen. But can I make progress? Now we talking. I can make progress, but I can't pay it off. And that's okay. Make the progress. Make the progress. Because once you already develop the habits of, okay, I'm going to have this auto draft out of my account every pay period so that I don't even have to think about it, but it's getting handled, it's getting paid, then you already know that that's money you don't even need to account for. Whether you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, that's money you don't never have to even account for. You're not even putting yourself in a situation where you have to manually go move it, because you always gonna think that you could use that money for something else. So go ahead, set it to auto pool, set it to auto pay, and by the time January rolls around, this money has been leaving your account religiously, consecutively, for the past 3.5 months. Baby, you're not worried about that money. You never had plans for that money, because that money already had plans for it. So think about any goal that you have where it's like a big goal, and break it down in the sense of that you're not trying to pretty much accomplish this by December, but you're definitely trying to make progress and put yourself in a good position for next year, so that perhaps by the end of next year it actually is accomplished. And that's by the end of next year. That doesn't mean delay because you have until the end of next year. That means that potentially if you start now, before the end of next year, it could be accomplished. But by the end of next year, it will likely be accomplished, if not before. So I said all that to say that you still have time. You very much still have time. And I don't want you to beat yourself up about whatever it is that you didn't get done, or that you know you won't get done, even after you sit with yourself and plan out these next 3.5 months, because you still have time. So outside of what you plan on accomplishing between September and December, and if they come with the whole winter arc trend, whatever it is that you decide that you're going to accomplish within your winter arc, then aside from that, I want you to know that you still have time. A lot of the goals that we've set, they're not time bound. Smart goals are time bound goals. So when you set smart goals, perhaps you'll do better, you know? And I went over SMART goals before. SMART goals mean specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time bound. For those that didn't know. I know I touched on it before, but I don't really talk about that. So yeah, definitely I would say that if you set goals within that SMART framework, then potentially you can get things done a little bit quicker. But my advice to you is going to be to not put the pressure on yourself, not only because we're looking at things as, okay, instead of trying to get it done by the end of this year, we're putting ourselves in a position to have a head start for next year, but also think about it. Look at all of your goals and think about which of these goals are really time bound. Like if they're not accomplished by this time, then you're screwed. Because a lot of the times that's not the case. A lot of the times as time progresses, you realize that some of these goals don't even resonate with you anymore, and you can just throw them out and focus on things that do make more sense for you and where you are in this present moment. Or you could also assess, maybe this isn't as important right now, and you can reprioritize some of your goals. But regardless of how you decide to go about it, I wanted to tell you that you still have time. Don't beat yourself up, but hold yourself accountable. And I'm having some of my friends hold me accountable by sharing with them my habit tracker week by week, so that they can see the progress that's being made. But if you need an accountability partner, then cool. If you feel like all you need to do is be more intentional about going behind yourself day after day, week after week, and reflecting on the things that you accomplished, the things that you're struggling on, the things that you might need to outsource, the things that you might need to delegate, the things that, all of the moving parts that are going to help you to accomplish these goals, then do that. But don't beat yourself up, because if you beat yourself up, then nothing's going to get done. You might punk yourself into believing that, oh, you should just start in January. But why? And what's going to be different next January as opposed to this past January? And for some of your goals, they might have been goals for you for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So what's going to be different next January? Don't do that. But be patient with yourself. Be graceful with yourself. Acknowledge where you are right now and say, hey, this is what I'm going to prioritize. If you have a list of 5 goals, list them by priority, list them by difficulty. Regardless of how many goals you have, I suggest you doing this. List them by priority, list them by difficulty. And if you want to bounce back and forth between high priority, easiest goal, or high priority, hardest goal, whatever you want to do, have it in front of you so that you know what you're working towards, and reflect on it. Every single day, reflect on it. It don't have to be you sitting there for hours like, oh my gosh, this is the goal, I don't know what to do. Let me spend 2 hours, 5 hours, da da da. Like, no, it doesn't have to be that. But go back and remind yourself of that goal every single day. Because when you're doing things that aren't moving the needle forward to you accomplishing this goal, you're going to slap yourself back in line. Hey, get it together. We only have 3 months. We only have whatever time period that you want to put on it. But regardless of the time that you set, remind yourself as well that you still have time. For some of these goals, whether you're trying to accomplish them in the Great Lock-In or you're trying to accomplish them within the next year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, regardless of, you don't know what factors are going to come into play that might derail you. So it's important to practice patience with yourself and gracefulness with yourself so that when things do happen, when curveballs are thrown, you're not beating yourself up. You're not getting too discouraged. You're not thinking that all hope is lost. You're going to be reminded, you're going to be grounded and certain within yourself that this is something I can still accomplish. As long as it's still a desire of your heart, if you're real with yourself about what you do that might be a distraction, that might be derailing you, that might be preventing you from getting there, and then you fight that and combat that with being intentional and setting aside the time and really making progress day after day or every other day, whatever cadence you feel like you need to show up for this thing, show up in that cadence. It doesn't have to be every day. Some goals don't require you, like the financial goal of paying off my credit card. That's not a goal that I have to dedicate time towards every single day. Like I said, I'm putting it on auto pay. Every pay period is going to do its thing on its own. The things that you can do like that, where you can just have it automatically do its thing, do that. As many things as you could create some type of automation for, do that. Because I promise it's going to help you more than it could ever harm you. And you're going to see the reapings that you sown. But I'm not going to drag this out because I really didn't have too much to say on the topic. I just wanted to say that, like, a lot of people are talking about this being something that they're focusing on for the next 3.5 months, and they're trying to make sure that whatever it is they said they were going to get done is going to be done by December 31st. I'm telling you that you don't have to go about things that way. You could very much look at it as putting yourself in a good position to have a head start, a jump start for next year. Because the reality of a lot of the things that you set in January getting done by December 31st, when it is now the middle of September, and by the time I post this might be the end of September, baby, don't even add that stress into your life. The holidays are coming. Things are starting to slow down. It's starting to get dark earlier. Some of us might be fighting seasonal depression. Like, don't even put that immense pressure on yourself. Just remind yourself that this is something that you want to see come to pass, and do whatever it is in your power to show up however often you need to show up for this thing to become a part of your routine, become a habit that you are dedicated to performing however often you need to be performing it, so that when it does come January. And when it does come next spring, you already are the person that you need to be to carry it out. And you're not making the same mistakes that you made this year and maybe in the past years. You are who you need to be for this goal to finally come to pass. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you guys for listening. Of course, send this, share this with whoever you feel it might resonate with. And if it resonated with you, leave me a comment, a like, subscribe, whatever it is that you haven't done, go ahead and do that. And yeah, I wish you a wonderful weekend or a week ahead. And thanks for listening, and thanks for watching. Thanks for just tuning in. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for all your love and all your encouragement. Okay? Toodles.